I have described the variety of functions appearing in anointment precedents in the Hebrew Bible: kingly, priestly, and prophetic. In light of it, we may ask whether this variety survives in the eschatological thought, when the hopes for an anointment Redeemer figure are projected unto the end of days. Telling in this sense is the passage from the Qumranic rule of the community, which was among the first Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in the Judean desert about 70 years ago. For those of you who do not have a clear picture of the Dead Sea Scrolls discovery and their importance for understanding Second Temple Judaism, I recommend to consult any internet resource available, starting even with Wikipedia. Those willing to further enrich their knowledge may read any of many good books dealing with the discovery of the scrolls and their contents. To give only one example, there is a book by Geza Vermesh, The Dead Sea Scrolls in English, multiple editions, which relates in its introductory chapters to both the history of the Qumran community and to the main ideas of its outlook reflected in the scrolls. The rule of the community scroll, usually viewed as a foundational document of the community, outlines its main practices and beliefs. The passage found in its column number 9 is directly relevant for our discussion. When there exists in Israel, in accordance with these rules, in order to establish the spirit of holiness and truth eternal, it will atone for the fault of the transgression and for the guilt of sin, without the flesh of burnt offerings and without the fats of the sacrifice. The offering of the lips in compliance with the decree will be like the pleasant aroma of justice, and the correctness of behavior will be acceptable like a free will offering. At this moment, the men of the community shall set themselves apart like a holy house for Aaron, in order to enter the Holy of Holies, and like a house of the community for Israel, for those who walk in perfection, withdrawing from evil and walking on a perfect path. They should not depart from any counsel of the Torah in order to walk in complete stubbornness of their heart, but instead shall be ruled by the first directives which the men of the community began to be taught, until the prophet comes and the messiahs of Aaron and Israel. This text propagates the idea that the first directives established by its founding fathers, which guide the life of the community it represents, allow the community to achieve holiness. Moreover, thanks to its holiness, it is capable of atoning for the sins of many. Yet, this seemingly perfect state is not considered the final one. Similarly to some other Second Temple traditions, for example, the one attested in the first book of Maccabees, the scroll looks forward to the times of messianic redemption, characterized by appearance of 3 dominant figures seemingly acting in harmony. The rule of the community thus clearly bears witness to the Jewish tradition's readiness to retain those 3 separate functions as pertaining to the last days too: Messiah the King, as bringing redemption to Israel; Messiah of Aaron, as restoring the proper form of temple worship; and finally, the eschatological prophet, the one anointed by the spirit of prophecy, as a restoring prophecy to Israel. This is what can be called the 3-crown model of the final salvation.